Welcome everybody, I'm Absurdum. We're going to play Stoneshard today, our one-handed mace build. I'm excited to get back into it. Now, you might have noticed that I'm not exactly where I left off, and that's because I actually started recording the episode. We're going to do the Fate of the Brewery quest, and I came over here and recorded talking to Jerk here to get more information about what happened, but I must have screwed up the dialogue choices, which I didn't think I could, because now he's not willing to tell me more about it, and I don't think I have the option to actually do it the quote-unquote good or light-sided way to do it, or however you want to put it. And because of the way the save and load in this game works, I can't load back to 5 minutes ago to before I started and talk to him to try again or anything. Let's see here. Normally you talk to him, he tells you about how the Elder's not that much of a nice guy and some bad things, and then when you ask more about it, you can either bribe him or do something for him. Let's see if we talk about this though. Well, never mind. I don't know what I could have done to screw it up. I've done this a handful of times before. We'll go through, cycle back around, and maybe I just need to talk to him again. I've tried talking to him again. That didn't really do anything, but I have some questions. Anything going on around here? No. Actually, hold on. No, I'm not paying you for rumors. Some questions. What's the tavern's name? Black Boar. A nicer place around here, the hovel in Manshire calls the tavern simply can't compare. Grandfather's running this place, and before him, my great-grandfather. I bet you can guess who owned it before him. As for me and my wife, we've been running the business for at least 15 years. Why the Black Boar? Now, that's a long story. A century ago, there was a wild boar that kept the entire village in fear. A vicious beast it was. Some folks believe that it wasn't even a boar, but an evil spirit. Then the lord of the land was a bit of a coward. Almost stopped hunting because of it. Held himself up in the castle for a week or two. But what's life without hunts? So he put a handsome bounty on the boar's head. As a result, dozens of folk ventured into the woods. Half of them returned empty-handed. The other half got mauled. Of course, none of them had my great-great-grandfather's skills with a bow. In fact, he put the boar down with a single arrow. Hit it right in the eye and dropped it where it stood. The lord himself granted the title of gamekeeper for this heroic deed, making him quite a catch for the lasses. My great-great-great-grandfather, being a smart fellow that he was, married the miller's daughter and opened up a tavern. As to the boar's head, he hung it above the fireplace. People nearby villages would flock over to see it. Alas, a couple of years ago, some scoundrel stole it. I looked everywhere. That scumbag disappeared without a trace. It's interesting that he mentions that because we can actually find it, and I would like to do so. But that's not for here now. I'm a little disappointed that we can't do the quest that I wanted to. Not just because I think it's easier to do that way, but it's also nicer to do that way. And the guy who runs the brewery is an NPC I actually really enjoy. But yeah, there's no option to talk to him, so I must have screwed up a dialogue choice the first time around. I don't know how I could have done that, though. Well, less talk, more rock. I guess it's just time to go out there and murder some quote-unquote bandits. It is faster to do it this way, in my opinion, because you don't have to walk back and forth so many times, but it's a real shame. Everything said and done, it's not that big of a deal, and it is an easy way to keep some reputation. Doing it the other way, doing it the quote-unquote nice way, you lose a fair amount of rep with the town, but in my opinion, that's not really that big of a deal. Rep in Nosburg isn't really that big of a deal. Doesn't really do much for you when everything's said and done, but oh well, I guess that's just how things work out. We're halfway to level 5, which feels good. And we were getting some pretty decent warfare skills. Assets have been nice to us. Alright, stop in the river here, collect some water, since I didn't grab any before we left town. You can find leeches in here too for free. You just go and pick them right up. They don't want you to know this, but the leeches in the river are free. So this is the same brewery that we found before. Hopefully we can find some new bandits on the way. If they've respawned, that'd be really nice. Just to pick up a little bit of extra experience here and there. if you do it the way that oh, there might be still there. If you do it the way that I planned on doing it, you have to walk there, then walk back, and walk back again, and it's a fair amount of time. So I guess this will be much faster that we can just walk there, murder everyone, and leave. Assuming that I am able to murder them, it's some pretty tough fights. Even after completing all 3 dungeons, I feel like it's usually pretty tough. You have to fight them one at a time. I forgot that we have energy steal on this mace. That's pretty nice. It's a pretty solid hit. And he's down. Oof. Feels good. Well, we're getting through those guys pretty easily. Forgot also, not only do we have energy drain, but we also have a pretty decent... I feel like Footman's Mace is a nice pickup for us at this point. I figure it's not going to last for too much longer, but that's okay. We just have to go, what, northeast from here? Off the beaten path a little bit, see what we can find. So far, not much. You never know, you can find a nice random bandit or two. Just quickly smash a head in. I don't know if it's because I didn't see them when we were out here before. That's the only thing I can think of, is that when I came out here before, I don't think we actually ran into the NPC to say anything to them. Because once you usually get the full story, you can say another option. You know what I'm gonna do? Say, fine, I'm leaving. I'm actually gonna pause the recording. Now that I've talked to him, I'm gonna see if I can go back and talk to the lumberman again. If I can, great. If not, well, I guess that's just how it works. We'll be back here. Alright, well, welcome back. I traveled all the way back there, just hoping that maybe now that we've talked to him would change something. And I even kind of brought up some Google results real quick just to make sure I didn't do something wrong. But as far as I can tell, as long as you've done the Forgotten Plain quest for him and talked to him about it, he should do it. Now, either I'm missing something or maybe perhaps the game is bugged. I hate to say that, but for some reason it's not letting us do it, and I'm a little disappointed in that because not that I think it's that big of a deal or if I really care that much. I just think it's a fun, different way to go about doing it, and I think a lot of people that might be watching this might be a little bit newer to the game and not know that you can go about doing this a different way. Now they're not even coming out to talk to me. That's strange. Looking for a fight? Fine, we're do it the old-fashioned way. We'll just murder people and hope that we don't get murdered in return. Alright then, come and get it. Now these guys are tough. I don't know why he's not taking an attack on me. He's not attacking me at all. Okay, I think it's definitely bugged, right? Okay, now he's fighting back. At least there's that. This is the guy that I was really hoping to not fight, but he's the real owner of the brewery. Now, if you let people get relatively close, you can bring them over to the next zone with you. They did not come with me, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's alright. Used to be a lot easier to do. Pick up reset. Sorry, we'll go down here, we'll track this guy. I'm real hesitant to ever say that game is bugged up, but something about this is not right. Normally they get really aggressive just for you being here. Chase you down like they did the first time. And now this guy's takes a lot of turns to even start fighting me. Let's get him this way, just so his friends don't get over here anytime soon. Oh, he charged me. This guy hurts. Alright. I think it's just the two of them left. That guy doesn't look too tough. From over there, on the other hand, will be when we separate them out. Let's take a look here. Yeah, they're grouped up now. Okay. Maybe we do just want to bolt over. Neither one of them came because they didn't turn invisible. You'll know because they're turned invisible when you cross screens. So they turn invisible. They disappear because they traveled the scene with you too. Makes it feel even worse. Okay, they're being aggressive now at least. Oh, that feels bad. How much experience did we get for killing him? 79? It's not even that good. A merc's life is as it goes. I think we can get away with stealing things from here now that everyone's dead. Let's see. Nope, it is quite stolen. There's still things in here that don't count as stolen. They're not owned, quote unquote. So we will check those, but this chest in particular can have some good stuff. And it's ours for the taking. I can live without that. There. It's just on the off chance barrel has something good for us. And it's very disappointing. This whole experience so far has been a little lackluster for me. That's okay. Like I mentioned before, it is the kind of faster way to get your cart since you don't have to walk all the way back here. You don't have to listen to Varen complain about it as well. He's got the bum leg and all. He doesn't want to walk all the way out here to get to his cart. I understand, I suppose. And I think we'll get paid a little better. We won't take the reputation hit from betraying our employer. We are a merc, not a hero. It's important we just do our job as is. It's not our job to think, it's our job to do. You know, something like that. Now, on my trip back and forth, I did run into some more people, which was very surprising. Kind of we would have cleared them all, but we did get some more experience, so we're actually quite... Look at that, there's even more. Let's go up here. Nope, not yet. The guy with the two-handed axe is a little concerning. We did just bash him into his friend though, so that did fear a bit. I was hoping to be able to kite him a little bit to get our cooldowns back. Ah, that's alright. Doubt this axe is worth much. I am bleeding, that's important to note. It's probably something I should note. It's a big axe. It's not going to be worth much, but it might be worth selling just to help pay for some repair or something to that effect. Small things can add up, right? This is how put us. Yeah, we're still a couple hundred experience away. I was playing my late game pyromancer build yesterday, and it's just so strange to go from needing 20,000 experience to level up to 2,000. But then again, when you're Joanna and you're out in a endgame dungeon, burning people alive for just regular enemies for 300 some experience apiece, just because her passive to get extra experience is so good. Not to mention all the other things I have on me to get extra experience. Not to mention the drugs I'm on to give me extra experience. They all add up for almost 200% like more experience. It's quite a bit. We won't have that luxury not playing as her. Our passive is good as well, but experience talks. We do have a little bit of experience ring, which is nice, but I typically like to go deep into the experience jewelry just because it really does keep some of that grind away. Really helps kind of get progression faster. I think one thing that this game kind of does suffer is a little bit of grind. Doing contracts, going back to a different village, doing contracts, going back to another village where those ones are in cooldown. It kind of has a more or less same amount of feel, especially in the mid-late game, when you're not strong enough to really go to the other late game dungeons that you might go explore. You're not really strong enough or good enough to fight some of the in-game bosses that have been placed. trying to build up some rep, it gets a little grindy. So about the brewery, yeah, I cleared it out. It's great news. To be frank, I didn't expect you to pull it off. Great. As per agreement, you'll find the cart and horse next to the stables. And here's a little extra for our job well done. We get another ring. And just, oof, it's not even good money. We can normally extort him for extra money. The counter-trancing control is not bad. I mean, I'll read it. One thing that I'm interested to see is... Oh, I already have one of those. Never mind. Actually, I already have a better one of those. It's fine. I know where to sell things. One thing I'm interested in is how much rep did we get for that? I'm so used to losing rep for doing it that I don't remember how much we get for doing it. It's not even that much. 350? It's a regular contract, but it doesn't feel like that much. Nothing here that really stands out to me. Let's go ahead and sell this. Extra 86 gold. He doesn't have the money to buy that. We can sell it in the next town, though. That's okay. I should probably buy some more of this stuff from the healer. Let's go over here, sell this axe. See if there's anything we need repaired. How much you gonna buy for this? 18? That's about what I expected. We must have repaired recently because this stuff isn't actually looking that bad. Actually, it's looking quite alright. Let's take this with us before we forget. Pick up some spies from the healer because we'll be on our way out here real soon. Still pretty good on meat. Nice. What are you selling for? Let's get this and get another bandage. We're really good on splints. I found a free splint on somebody we murdered. So now, if anything, I feel like I have way too many splints on me. But once we get to the next town, we'll drop some things off there in a safe location, which is literally anywhere. And we'll pick them up as we need them. Same with this. Give me that purse. They're not expensive to buy a new one, but sometimes it's nice just to... Okay, he's not in here. Must be already at the cart. At the cart? Sure is. Well done. I see you haven't lost your touch. Frankly, I expect Aldor to try to weasel away out of our deal, but apparently he's a man of his word. Now we have horses and a cart. So far, so good. It's only a couple of weeks since I've held the reins, but it feels like it's been a lifetime ago. I have a task for you. What kind of task? Remember that business at the Abbey? Right, so listen, while I was there, I found a body of some poor sod. Among his other belongings, there was an old contract that promised good money to anyone who could get rid of the unholy scum inhabiting the place. Well, the monsters are dealt with, and I'm here to share the tale. We should try our luck and claim the reward. The contract isn't exactly fresh, but there is no harm in taking a detour and visiting Manshire. Grab your stuff and let's go. Alright? About the contract, who should I get that money from? Let's see here. There you go. Signed by the Elder, you should go talk to him first. Might even give us a second cart out of it. Okay. We can read it. Gets us a little bit of experience, plus we get experience for discovering this location, which is nice. We looking a little hungry. Well, that's why I picked up those bears. It's late, so I highly doubt we're going to be able to talk to him. So the inn is here. We'll go there. What are you selling? Do you have money for this? You do. She normally doesn't have that much money, I feel like. Perhaps I'm just wrong. That helps pay for a room, if nothing else. I'll get some decent sleep. Locked in the Elder. Get a new job. No, it's pretty early in the morning already. Poke around the town a little bit. So there is a blacksmith south of us that does sell better gear. I'll go talk to him. You don't look like an elder. I'm not one for flamboyance, flags, emblems, and embroidered doublets. It's nothing but vanity. No truth in fancy clothes. Makes sense. So yes, I may be an elder, but I'm a simple man. Chopping wood gives me time to think, and I have lots of ideas to ponder. Since I stopped drinking, there's simply no hiding away from them. And any new idea is smarter than the last. So what I'm saying is there's no truth in wine as well. Pointless drink. I see. Do you need any help around here? Help? Sure, we got a lot on our plate. I have something for you. This paper looked familiar. You hand him the contract. It's been at least half a year old. The Abbey. What was the problem again? Entire pack of vampires with a giant beast? Interesting. Looks like the Torah wasn't imagining things after her. How do I know the Abbey has been cleared out? We'll send your people there. I have no reason to lie. I'll take your word for it, but you see there's a problem. The contract is long expired. Not to mention it was signed by the previous elder, so he was the one responsible for paying. He hands you back the contract. Previous elder? Well, where is he? He passed away a few months ago. This paper no longer means anything. This is the gratitude I get? Every contract has an expiration date, and this one is null. Wasn't me who signed it. It's only fair. Hope you choke on it. We can threaten him for some money. He'll give us some, but we'll lose some rep with the town, and I don't think it's necessarily worth it. I'm not that hard up. I think it's just like 100 gold. And then we can throw it. Now it's his problem. Set up here. I want to see the merchants, see what they have. But mostly I want to sell some stuff. This shield. It's a pretty cheap shield, but I think ours is still doing okay. Nothing else here really shines to me. We could get a heater shield. That's an expensive shield. A lot of move resistance. Increases our dodge a lot. I don't think that's anything I'm super interested in. No, I'm not very impressed with all these. Okay, if you can't sit down in my lap and be good, sorry, I have to yell at my cat. It's trying to attack the microphone. We can sell this. That might have even been a little bit more money than the previous place. Let's go here. We'll make a kind of storage spot for things that we might want later. Sell out there. Someone seems to be missing. As they do. Let's come down here and talk to these gentlemen. Now, one of the things these gentlemen are going to want is, I believe, 5 iron ingots. We only have 1. Do you have any work for me? Yeah, bring at least 5 iron ingots. There we go. And we can see what he's selling. See, he has Metal Gear, which is very nice. Not the video game. This shield is actually probably my favorite in terms of shields. I don't know if it's really going to be worth it because I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing a shield in the offhand. But the counter chance alone makes it pretty stellar. It actually has less of an energy drain than what we have. Overall, this is better in like every way. It's quite the nice shield. He has a war flare too, which is awfully interesting. The accuracy penalty is really something else. Until we start putting points in perception, though, I'm not positive it's what we really want from life. Plus, ours is just a really nice flat, or mace. I think what would be most prudent for us is just to go and do armor. Now, our armor is pretty decent. This is better in a lot of ways. Actually has less shock resistance than ours. Oh, less of a shock resistance penalty, I should say. I'm surprised how this one is actually quite comparable. But since that's pretty good, why don't we look at maybe getting a helmet? It's a huge boost to our defense. At least in raw protection. Let's see how the shoes look. Physical resistance goes from 5 to 20. That's a lot. Lead resistance goes up a lot, which is another concern of mine. Yeah, I think this is definitely a solid upgrade for us. How about the gloves? Physical resistance is a fair amount. Lead resistance is a lot. Well, it's actually only 5%. Maybe the helmet would be a better choice for now. We don't have enough money to buy all 3 yet. That's not much physical resistance either, or bleed. Let's buy the gloves, the physical resistance is better. The boots. One thing I really like about this game is it actually does change your equipment. Once we get a bit more armor and everything, I think then we'll be in a much better spot to look at doing something like getting rid of the shield and putting a point to right on target. It still feels a little early for me to do that. I've never done a right on target build before, so that could be untrue. maybe now's a decent time to do it, but I think in the next couple levels is when I would want to. Let's go ahead, touch that. This is a guy who we can buy healing equipment from, but I think we're pretty solid on healing equipment from the looks of it. Go ahead and merge that back over. And let's get out of this rain and go take a contract. Should be pretty decent on food. We'll see where he wants to go. Well, with that behind us, do you need any help? Fugitive Hand. It's a 3-skull contract. That is worth noting. Serious situation, so your word won't be enough this time. I want you to claim the bounty. You have to bring back his hand. It's marked with the convict's brand. Okay. Heard anything new? Truth has been going on for way too long. It's a bad thing by itself. Mark my words, something terrible is about to happen after it ends. Such calm only happens before the greatest of storms. Sure. Let's see, we'll drop the other purse. I think that's just inventory space we don't really need to take up right now. And then over here is the carpenter. He's a nasty fellow, but we'll talk to him. What are you selling? Just in case there's a new mace with my name on it. Does not appear so. The war flare that guy was selling, the other guy was selling, was quite comparable to this. That's okay. So let's take a look. It is, well, kind of far away actually. It's alright. A little bit of a stroll, we'll get up there. Of course, I'm already hungry. It's alright. This might be a bit of a tough fight. We'll have to see here. If anything, we did just save right before these jobs and stuff once we got to Manshire. So I guess there is that. All goes wrong. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I typically find traveling on the edge of the maps faster because you run into less things. Oh, there's a dungeon right there too. Let's cross over here just to reveal more of the map. One thing that I really like about traveling on the edges is it makes it really quick to explore and reveal a map, as you can go into a new cell, then you just kind of hit all the ones around it, crossing over the areas. Ambush, you say? Mr. One Boot. We meet again. That was a friend. I thought he had a friend coming down, it was just a butterfly. Usually they're in pairs, though. I wouldn't mind killing another friend. There we go. You know, for fun. For sport. It's not a great idea, in my opinion, to pass up easy experience. And now that we take even less damage from things, the experience is just even easier. Jib the bone. Now, if we do run into Electromancer, due to the fact that we're soaking wet and decked out metal gear, things might not go our way. This is the zone. Let's see. Really close to leveling. What was I going to go look at? I was just thinking to myself, look at that. Well, would you look at that? But then I didn't. Oh well. I think this is one of, in my opinion, the hardest points of the game. There's different difficulty cliffs or steeps or whatever you want to call them in this game. And the first time you go to a new city to take the contract, that's one of the hardest. Just because the difficulty is higher than what you were just used to, and you might not be there quite yet. That being said, level 5 is a good level if you like to be here in this dungeon. Let's go ahead, we'll pack into strength. This will give us another threshold of 15, so we'll get an extra body part damage, crit efficiency, and 15% armor damage, which is a solid amount, especially considering with a mace build. After this, I might go into perception just to try to get some more bonus accuracy. Our accuracy honestly isn't really that bad, but if we want to start using things like flails, then we'll do that. I'm not sure if I do or not, to be perfectly honest. Either way, I think some perception might not be too bad. Even if we don't go up to the 15 threshold. I don't know, I'm surprised it's 90. Really thought it was going to be 80%, which is a lot less. Is it because of this? No? Well, I have no idea then. Either way, we do have another skill point. Now we can't unlock this until we get 5 more points in perception or agility. Did not realize. We should be able to buy a book in town that would open this up. I don't know if it'll be here or if it will be in Bryn, but there are treaties that you can read to get this. That might be what's really holding us back. Critical strikes and damaging counters replenish 5% energy. That might not be terrible. Especially since we do counter a fair amount. Do we want to go for a Mace ability? That's the question. We do have this we could get. Interesting. Activates Hammer and Anvil for 6 turns. A nice stance ability is usually pretty solid. Decrease Fumble chance, increase armor damage, increase daze and stagger chance. Using an ability from this tree grants stacks. Most of these stances in this game work this exact same way. Basic melee strikes prolong it, but decrease a stack. Knockout. Very interesting. You know what? I think a stance could be really nice for us. However, I want to rearrange these to perhaps be more like that. I like to let them get... Now he's got a spear, so that's going to work a little differently, but we'll strike. We'll stance. We'll get closer. Take initiative. Murder him. All's right in the world. So now it stacks. We have 2 tiers of it, getting us 50% armor damage. That's pretty nice. Goes down as we attack, but that's okay. There's no running front. It's only running to, not running from. I don't think I have anything here to really cook, but I'll be okay. Oh my. Look who did not notice us. Be your worst friend. It's not good enough. Crowbar. Now, I did just recently learn, I feel like an idiot for this. You can put that there. Interesting. I suppose I could do that. In this case, if we ever run out of lockpicks because we just get a bunch of bad rolls and they all break, and yes, that's happened to me plenty of times, we can still get loot from the in-game dungeon. I cleared out a tier 4 dungeon last night and my lockpick broke right before the treasure room. So whatever was in there, I was not able to get. And usually those are really good treasures. I was quite heartbroken. And DED. Looks like this. Uh-oh. We're wearing a lot of metal. Luckily, we're not as wet as we used to be, so there is that. Excellent. Less concerned about that. This guy has a lot of health. We've hit him for a fair amount of damage there. Alas, it's not enough. He dies like the rest of them. I was a little surprised to see him, though. Go ahead, head back to this. A little flea ward of that. Look who it is. Step closer. Go to our stance. Seize the initiative. Feels good. Ah, nice. It's always useful to pick up some of those. Ooh, some food. 1 potato. Lovely. Will serve us well, as all potatoes do. I'm better than all of this? Whatever you need to tell yourself, friend. Oh, yeah. He's not having a good time. Speaking of people not having a good time, this gentleman here. Be a lot of problems. Now, we did get a huge increase to our bleed resistance, which is really good news because knife people, they're going to make you bleed. 13% is a lot higher than it was, so we'll take it. bleeding is quite annoying. I can't tell you the number of times I've... Ooh, we got heroism. Times I've died to multiple stacks of bleed from somebody with a knife. Or some cultist monster. Let's check out this loot up here. I'm not gonna eat that because it's bad for my immunity. If you're desperate, sure, I get it, but I'm not. Will be time for a helmet upgrade soon. Let's check this guy out. Okay, there's not a boss room. There's at least 2 people, but only one of them knows I'm here, so let's keep it that way. Just because we're moving well doesn't mean we need to start taking risks. Raise the shield, block my attack. His friend is coming, but at least he has to walk all the way around now. Knocked him into his friend. Lovely. Got a decent sword attack on me. These guys, if I recall correctly, yeah, they actually have armor, but we're really tearing through it. Feels good. Let's say that's probably going to kill him, but we'll seize the initiative anyways. Get back some of our health. Nice, we'll take those. We have made a new friend. Nope, I wanted you to inspect him. Really? I thought he would have just walked up. Well, we'll wait for him. Nice crit. Nice stagger. Still feeling it. Oh, that was a straight up stun. That wasn't even a stagger. Crude longsword. Worth much? Not particularly. Yeah, we'll get rid of you. Looted everything except for the food down here. Got immunity up. Not positive these are really worth breaking. Sometimes they can be. Every once in a while, like a nice boar skin or something will pop out, and that's a payday there. Okay. This looks like the boss room. So we'll pull out who we can, because typically there's 3 enemies in a boss room. That's the ability there that can really cut you open. Are you the boss? You are the boss. That explains why you're so difficult, though we already bashed his head in pretty good. And he still has initiative loss. It's not a good day to be him. Doesn't have any armor. I mean, this should be obvious since he's clearly not wearing a shirt and has a sack over his head. But you know, these things happen. Beja is a drug/drink. That could be worth a fair amount of money. Got a purse. We got his hand. We could return now, but there's still people to murder. Looks like it might just be this guy. Maybe there was just 2 of them in there. I always expect the bandit to be the big angry dude. Loaf, like guy. Oaf, not loaf. Got to do my stance. That's alright. Don't think I'm gonna get punished for it. Oh, there is another guy. Okay. Just wasn't hip to the scene. Okay. Would have thought he would have tried to back up and shoot arrows at me, but he apparently had little interest for such things. But yes, I elfed, so put hay in my nightstand. Another vivifying potion. I don't really think we need it, but we would like to see it, you know, proper treasure, but it is how it goes. Interested in the cabbage. Anything else down here we should break? Alright. Sure, we'll drink some. Optimistic, as we should be. Things are going quite well for us here. I'll break stuff for fun. Should get like some type of mood boost for just going around destroying things, right? Slight morale boost or something. Sounds good. Hello, look who it is. It's a bad day to be you, friend. Unidentified blue staff. Interesting. Normally, it's not worth it to actually check these things out, but curiosity always gets the best of me, especially when it's a blue tier enchantment. I'd love to see very, very, very rare, like, higher tier oranges, you know, purples, whatever colors they want to choose. I think that'd be really interesting. Get ourselves another potato. All praise, potato. Cook them. It makes them much better to eat, which you should expect. Ever eaten a raw potato? No. This is unfortunate. I don't even think the raw potato will save me. Let's see here. Could eat a victory potato. It's probably not going to, you know, actually provide us with much victory, but it's nothing like flexing on eating something right before a fight, right? They're just walking up to you and you're just eating a potato. That happened. At least his armor is rather ineffective against me. His friend is over there doing God knows what instead of standing here like he should be. Okay, we can let our cooldowns go off a bit. Go. Probably could have even trailed him out and maybe rested some. Actually, this is a thing. We can do that. We can rest like this. Get some health back while he beats on that door. If you're standing on the other side of the closed door, they can't just open it up. Death before dishonor. You heard the lady. So that's a good way to squeeze out a little bit of extra health if you're in a bad spot. A militia club. Interesting. Not hungry, but I'll eat it anyways. Now, we have seen this before. I think ours is still much better. And not just because it does more damage. It does a lot more damage. Might be worth trying to sell. I doubt it. It'll probably be the first thing I drop if we end up needing to. That guy killed himself on a trap. Very interesting choice. I do without the carrot. You know what, actually, now that I think about it, what I will do... That's not what I meant. We don't need that. We can keep that as a backup weapon, just in case things go south. Oh, I have to yell at my cat. Sit back down. Keeps like trying to sit up to stand on my mic and headbutt it. It's adorable. Just trying to record a video. Or stream. Or do any of the things, really. We have daily discussions about how he's not allowed to touch the mic. Okay, well, should have just done that, I guess. Ah, I'm bleeding. From my face. Fortunate. Not the best of spots I've ever been in. Please kill him. There we go. Let's go ahead. Go into damage control mode. I think that's going to involve bandaging. We need to get some health back. Just gonna drink one of my potions. Now's maybe the time. Seizing an initiative will be a big hit to his... Stop bleeding me, please. This guy's tanky. Okay. I think we bought that other bandage. Take a step back. Rest up a little bit. Enjoy the fact that we got our second wind. Didn't expect this part of the dungeon to be one of the tougher parts of the dungeon. Happy to see this chest. It's often good things. And Nice boar skin would be really great. Just to stumble upon. Fox skin or really any type of pelt. There. Alright, well I suppose that ends the dungeon for us. These daggers sometimes sell decently. I'm not one to usually min-max all the things we find, but whatever money we save for repairs will do us well. Could have certainly gone a lot worse. If you don't do all the contracts in Osbrook, get some exploring before you do that. I think the difficulty curve is a little rough, especially for this first dungeon. But that's how, I mean, I feel other than that time where Dagger guy switched our positions and we were in a really bad spot and kept getting unlucky with bleeds. Could have gone a lot worse. That was the closest we got, and we were still in a pretty decent spot. The cultist boss fight from last time, I think, was still a little more hairy. Hello, friend. Relatively, though, do you have another friend around here that we should talk to? So they're usually in groups. Maybe I just missed him on the way up. But yeah, no, that went pretty well overall. I'm glad we were able to buy that new armor. I think that's making a huge difference. We probably would have got a lot more bleed without it. And as you can probably imagine, that's not really good. We discovered something over there, huh? Maybe we'll have to go over there and see what it is tomorrow. We can pick up our next contract. Exploring is a very easy way to get some experience. Speaking of which, we didn't really get a lot of experience today. We only leveled up the once, but a lot of that's because we just did the quest at the brewery instead of clearing out 2 dungeons. I feel like 2 dungeons an episode is a pretty good pace. Makes these episodes not too long, keeps them under an hour, which I aim for about 30 to 45 minutes. Let's pop in here. We'll get another good night's sleep. Save, be able to sell her fortified wine we found. Light up. I'm hungry or thirsty. We're pretty thirsty. Good news for people who have a bunch of berries on them. And we'll just go to bed with this guy's hand in my pocket, because nothing strange about that. 8 o'clock in the morning seems pretty decent. Let's head into town. Guy's usually out in the morning chopping wood. There he is. Makes it nice and easy to find him. Here for my reward. Here's his hand. Should be enough to buy us our next set of armor. What else you got going on here? Source of corruption. Sounds like a necromancer. I like it. Actually, we could probably sell that to him too. I didn't think about trying to sell that to the bartender. She will buy it. It's 120, not bad. It's not the price that she would have paid, or that it's worth. I think it's actually legal in Bryn to have that on you. Like, they won't come shake you down for it, but it does state that it's illegal inside the town. Come back here, please. And you have to buy it from people at the docks, I think, or the Elven District. Alright, let's see here. You'll buy this and that. I'd like to see what these are just because I'm curious. And it always does get the best of me, but we do have the money for the helmet. There is a different helmet that's a chain helmet, which I think gives more bonuses in terms of bleed resistance and stuff. Honestly, other than the raw protection value, this doesn't offer. We're losing bleed resistance from this. Overall, I think it's worth it just to have the raw damage protection. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself while I sell it. Let's see. Can you repair anything for me? That's getting there. Let's do it. It's still pretty decent. It's still decent. Shield's okay. It's getting there. Let's go talk to this guy. He'll sell us some identification scrolls. Or at least one identification scroll. And we can sell him this thing that I'm not going to use. We don't need two of those either. Once I start using drugs, then maybe we'll talk about. We'll sell that too, sure, why not? Okay, so what do you have here for us? Enchantment scroll, just enchantment scroll. 2 ID scrolls. Let's see what these are. I just have to know. Shock damage. Ooh, that's pretty decent. Despite what it is. It's not that great of staff in my opinion, but shock damage is a really, really nice buff. I would love to get on pretty much any other item with this dagger. Has block power, and that's not that great in my opinion. Also, it's, of course, damaged all heck back. You know what, before we leave, why don't we get that blessing now? We'll go sell these things to the merchant, and whatever else we have to sell. And I think we'll wrap up the episode there. That way tomorrow, we can kick off and go immediately to that dungeon. What are you selling, good sir? You can buy this stuff, like I said. I don't think we're really making any money off of it, but that's okay. He's in a decent place to start off tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're pretty well equipped. We'll have a crowbar if this ever breaks. I've never used the crowbar before, so I'm kind of interested in seeing what that looks like. Come over here. Throw this to the ground. And inventory is looking not so bad. I'm really excited to have better armor. I think this is going to make a huge difference in our lives. Soon we'll work on upgrading this. I think that would be a decent idea, but for now, that checks out. This is the point in the video where I want to thank everybody for coming by. I hope you guys are enjoying this series half as much as I am making it. It's been getting really good amount of views for what's for my channel is really good views. So I appreciate everyone's support and coming by and watching. I always love hearing from you guys, so please feel free to leave any comments, tips. If you know what happened with that brewery request and how I might have screwed it up, please let me know. But as far as I know, we should have been able to do it the way I wanted. But c'est la vie, that's just how it goes. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you again soon. Take care.